So in today's video, we are going to dive into Defy and its new release. So Defy is an LLM application development platform that has already seen over 100,000 applications built on Dify.AI. So it integrates the concept of Backend as a service and LLM ops, covering the core tech stack required for building generative AI native applications, including a built-in RAG engine. With Defy, you can self-deploy capabilities similar to Assistants API and GPTs based on any LLM. So the new release of Defy surpasses the Assistants API Defy. So Defy's RAG demonstrates an impressive 20% improvement. So we are going to dive into the new releases. All right. So let's get into a GitHub. So comparing features like programming approach. So you can see Defy is API oriented, Assistants API, and Langchain is a Python code oriented. So the ecosystem strategy, OpenAI, the Defy uses an open source, and the Assistants API uses the closed and commercial, and Langchain is open source. So the RAG engine supports the RAG engine, and as well as Open Assistants API. Right, not supported with LangChain, and the prompt ID is included for both of Assistants API and Defy. And it supports LLMs, is has rich varieties of LLM that supports. We are going to go through that, and the Assistant API only supports GPT, and LangChain has the rich variety as well, and supports the local deployment for Dify.AI. It doesn't support local deployment for Assistants API, and LangChain is not applicable. All right, so these are some of the LLM, the Defy support. So LLM support, prompt IDE, RAG engines. Right, so you can include RAG capabilities based on full text indexing, vector database, and embeddings. Right, and it has some functions with agents, a function calling based agent framework that allows users to configure what they see. All right, so before you can install that, you should have a CPU RAM that is greater than 2 core and a RAM greater than or equal to or not less than more than 4 gigabytes. So you can do install to your Docker. Okay, so you can use this command, and after you run, you can access Defy dashboard using this link. Okay. All right. So as you can see, they are really improving and extending more of their functionalities. Okay, so let's get into. All right. So before you start, you go to. So this is the Dify.AI. Before we do that, I want to take you through the. All right. So there's a block from the Defy Insights. So it surpasses the Assistants API and has an improvement of 20%. And it's mostly has these key features. That's the new release and update from Defy. So it has enhanced the RAG technology. Okay, so Defy.AI dataset model incorporates advanced RAG technology, and the RAG is crucial for vector search, significantly enhancing the question and answering capabilities of the LLMs. And it has the hybrid search that they have added to their setup or options. So the dataset upload capabilities have been extended with multiple search options. So users can now choose between vector search, full text search, and a novel hybrid search that combine the strength of both methods. So for the re-ranking model implementation, a new re-rank model has been introduced that is allows for a semantic re-ranking of search results obtained from various technologies. So users can configure these features in the search settings to pinpoint answers that align most accurately with their query. So this really improves the accuracy of the outcome. And it has a multi-path retrieval that is tailored for knowledge-based question answering using multiple data sets. So this feature concurrently considers all relative data sets, ensuring the extraction of the most pertinent text segment from each dataset. All right, so we have this option that are embedded in their new setup that will really help increase the accuracy of your search and also the speed. Okay, so this makes it very unique to the OpenAI Assistants API and the GPTs. All right, so you can see the as you can see from this graph here. So we have the score as compared to the new upgrade versus the latest version versus the previous version. So you can see the answers, the the answer relevancy and the context precision being 20% increase, the faithfulness that is 35.71%. Yeah, so you can see the score with the ragged score that shows a major improvement with the as compared to the older versions. Okay, so we are going to dive into how we are going to do that and embed documents. So let's get into Defy.AI. So when you get to this link, you go to get started. So I already have it get started. So when that is done, you go to so when you get to this platform, the there are a lot of options that you can explore. You can go to explore and you can see a lot of apps that you have already like a template that you can select from and just deploy it. Okay, so you have categories writing assistance, assistance, HR, template, translate, programming. Okay, so let's go to so we have where you can build your apps and you embed your knowledge. Okay, so we are going to go to Defy and we go to settings. So we have several options here. So you can do data source, you can, yeah, various options here, plugins. You can add a SEP API. All right, so let me go to the model side. So we want to, so as you can see, there are so many models that you can select from. It's the OpenAI, the Anthropic. So we are going to use the local model. So we are going to do add from Hugging Face and we make sure the text generation, the hosted inference API is on. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to select my Access API. Okay, so this is where I am. Okay, so I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to choose the model. So I'm going to use this. Okay, I'm going to use the Sapphire, which is a good model. I'm going to say, so when I paste it here, I'm going to hit save. Okay, so when you hit save, when you modify successfully. Okay, so now let me close this. All right, so now loaded my model. So I'm going to apps and let me create a name and I'm going to say medical chatbot. So I click on chat app. So here you have the option to choose text generation. If you want to create an application that generates high quality text based on prompt. So I want to create a chat based application. So I select a chat app and I go to create. Okay, so in here we have it in service already. A chatbot is in service, so you can copy this link right there, and you are there. You can copy this link and you can share it or paste it anywhere. It's going to run. So now let's go to, you can customize it. Okay, you can customize it per your options. You can fork the client code, modify it, and deploy it to Vessel. There are other recommendations that you can use. Okay, so you can embed it to other platforms, other websites. You have that option. You can just copy this. All right, and yeah, you can change your settings here. If you want to change your settings to English or other language, save it. Okay, so you can easily integrate that into your application. So this is the API endpoint service. So you can just copy this and you can integrate it into other applications. So when I hit, okay, so let us some prompt. So I'm going to say you are helpful assistant chatbot, answer questions clearly and do not guess if you don't know. Okay, so let me check this one out. And what I want to do now is let's make sure we select the cell file, and here you have the option to change your temperature. You can vary your top P, the maximum token, you can change that. Okay, so now, okay, so let me publish it. Okay, so when you see success, it means that it's being published. So when I go to overview and I go to preview, okay, so let me start a chat. So I'm going to say, okay, list 5 ways to reduce weight. Okay, so there's 5 ways to reduce weight. So when I hit, yeah, so this is pretty fast. Yeah, okay, all right. So let me just say, suggest 3 breakfast ideas for, so just 3 breakfast ideas for the 50, 60-year old. All right, perfect. Okay, yeah, looks accurate. All right, so now let's go back and let's add a knowledge base. So here I'm going to go to knowledge base. Okay, so I'm going to say create knowledge. And here I'm going to put in my documents. I'm going to say mental health. All right, so it's just a mental health document that I downloaded. Okay, so we can feed in your knowledge base. Okay, so I'm going to hit next. All right. All right, so this is where the magic happens. We have the text pre-processing and the cleaning. So under that, we have the chunk settings. So with the chunk settings, you have the option to choose the automatic chunk settings and the custom chunk settings. So this you have for the customized chunk settings, you can have more control on selecting or choosing your chunk length and the chunk size and apply certain rules to it. For the automatic, it's just going to do that for you. So under the index mode, we have the high quality and the economical. So you call the default settings embedding interface for processing to provide a high accuracy whenever the user's query. And here we have the economical side where you can use that offline. Okay, and that you don't have to pay anything for that. All right, so these tokens has some charges to that. All right, so the next one is the retrieval settings. All right, so we have the learn more, so you can click on that to read more about that. But under that, it really applies three ways to, or uses three ways to improve your accuracy and your searches. Okay, so in here, we have the vector search, the full search, and the hybrid search. Full text search and the hybrid search. Okay, for the vector search, you generate query embedding and search for the text chunk most similar to its vector representation. So the this uses the re-rank model, which reorders the um, candidate's document or the user's document list based on the semantic matches with the user's query. So this improves the results of the semantic ranking. The re-rank model is free to use, and you will need to create an account on the Cohere website. Right, so I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so you have the option to select your top K, you have the option to select your threshold. Okay, it's used to set the similarity threshold for a chunk filtering. I can change these. Oh, I need to select that. You can change these numbers and you can change the top K. So this is used to filter the chunks that are most similar to the user questions. All right, so in order to get to the model, what you have to do is already have done this. Okay, so this is used to do the re-ranking. So you will need to connect to the cohere.com, which gives or allows you to implement large language models into your product. Okay, so you can create the re-rank model account for free using the Cohere, which will give you an API key. Okay, when you are connected to that, you just choose get to API key, where you get the free options to try versions, and you can copy this. So when you get your API, this is the default one. You can create a new API key. Click here and create one. Right. So you can copy this one or you create a new one. Okay. Just copy this one and you paste it in here. I've already done it. So right. So you can paste it in there and that's it. Right. So you can do your full text search. So where index all terms in the document and allows users to search any term and retrieve relevant text chunk containing those terms. So you can also do the hybrid search where you execute full search term, the full text search, and vector searches. So you're able to re-rank to select the best match for the user's query. All right, so I'm using the default search. Okay, so the next thing is I'm gonna hit save process. So it says embedding processing. Right, when it's completed, next thing is so it's given a chunk length of 512. All right, the segmentation rule is automatic here, so I chose the automatic. All right, so I'm going to, and the text pre-definition is automatic, right? So I'm going to choose the go to document. All right, I have it embedded. So now I have to want to go to my chart. Okay, All right, so once I'm here, I'll go to the prompt engineer. I have my prompt here and I have my local model selected. So what I want to do is I want to add my context to it, and I click on my mental health document. I say add, and here you can add features to it. So you have the option to say you can add a conversational remarks follow up. So I'm going to say setting up a next question suggestion and maybe do a voice. All right, so now let me click inside. Okay, so I have these features added up, and now I'm going to say publish. Success is being published. So we have the option to add the API access to it. All right, so chat up API access, and you can check your logs in here. Okay, so now let's go to overview and let's go to preview. So let me start a new chat. Okay, so I'm going to say what is mental health? I'm going to say hit. Yeah, all right. So giving me some pretty good answers here using the documents that I embedded. Okay, and it's trying to, like I said, the option features that I chose, giving me some relevant next questions. And it has the, you can do a voice recording and it's going to give you a response. Okay, so let me try it. How can I improve my mental health? Say stop. Okay, so when I hit next, all right, guys. Yeah, I think I like this response. Yeah. All right. So let's get back to, yeah. So you can just go through this and just play around with it. They have several use cases. Okay. So for the pricing, they have the, all right. So they have the free that runs on the sandbox. You can start the free trial. All right. So they have several options that you can go in for. You can, for team members. So free trial, you can build up to 10 apps. Vector store, that's 10 megabytes. The document processing priority, it's 30 days. So you can go the professional. So you can choose whatever works for you. Okay. All right. All right. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to share and subscribe. See you in the next one.